Did you really think I was gonna review that 2017 travesty? I'm not. Zack Snyder's Justice League was released in 2021 on HBO Max, directed by Zack Snyder, starring Ben Affleck, Gal Gadot, Ezra Miller, Ray Fisher, Jason Momoa, and Henry Cavill. And yeah, back in 2017, we got a really terrible hack job of a rough draft. And for years, DC fans, Zack Snyder fans alike, campaigned online to get the actual cut of this movie, Zack Snyder's original vision. And finally, in 2020, Warner Brothers finally caved, told Zack Snyder, all right, you can finish your cut of this movie. Zack Snyder revealed it during a watch party on Twitter? I don't remember where he did, but he did a watch party for Man of Steel, and he announced that his cut of the movie would finally be hitting HBO Max in 2021. So, is it better than that hack job we got? Hell yes it is. So let's go ahead and start off this review, starting off with the good, and there's still a lot to love about this movie. Now, I did review this movie back in 2021, but I figured I'd give some updated thoughts on it. First of all, Ben Affleck as Batman, obviously, once again, is absolutely terrific. I really loved his portrayal of Batman ever since he was announced. I'm not a huge fan of the killing, but I can look past that. But really, really great performance. I really love how he's wanting to lead this team to defend the Earth. They have Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, and she's really great. Once again, another casting that's just been great from the word go. Really love her in this movie. I know this actor has had a lot of issues to their name, especially last year. But Ezra Miller, still not terrible as the Flash. I'm not just gonna say that they're bad as the Flash just because of the shit that they did last year. Yes, that was completely inappropriate what they did. They should be facing consequences, but unfortunately not. But they still did a really good job in this movie. I really love the scene where Barry turns back time and saves the world. One of the greatest scenes in comic book history, in my opinion. Just really love Ezra Miller's portrayal of Barry Allen, even though it felt a little bit more like Wally West, but still did a really good job. And then you have Ray Fisher as Cyborg, and this is one of the biggest improvements from the 2017 version, because in the 2017 version, Cyborg doesn't really do much. He's not given much of a character, he's not given much of an arc, he's just kind of there to help the League, and he gets so much to do in this movie. He gets a huge character arc, he's the heart of the movie, he gets a really tragic arc, but also a really inspiring one as well. I really love the way Ray Fisher played the character. It's a shame he won't ever be back as the character because of how Warner Brothers treated him after he spoke out about the on-set abuse from Joss Whedon. But I'm just glad we got one good arc for him out of Zack Snyder's vision. And I'm just really glad that we were finally delivered that. Jason Momoa as Aquaman needs really no introduction because he's been one of the most beloved portrayals of a character in the DCEU, and he's great here. He's obviously great. I really love him as Aquaman. Not my favorite portrayal of Aquaman. That's going to be in the next review, but I really love Jason Momoa's Aquaman. I really loved his chemistry with the characters. And finally, rounding out the Justice League, you have Henry Cavill making his triumphant return as Superman. And yes, this movie was released in 2021. It was supposed to release in 2017. And Superman died at the end of Batman vs. Superman. But the version that we got in 2017 did not give the resurrection to Superman that he truly deserved. In this movie, you get that resurrection story that it feels earned. Now, obviously, I still have an issue with them rushing the death of Superman in Batman vs. Superman, but it made it a little more palatable in this movie with Superman's resurrection. I just really love Henry Cavill's portrayal. I will miss him dearly as Superman. He's one of my favorite portrayals of Superman. But I have faith that James Gunn will give us another all-time great portrayal of Superman, so we'll see what happens there. But really great high note for Henry Cavill to go out on in this movie. I'm not counting the post-credit scene from Black Adam, but that's a different story. Really love Henry Cavill in this movie. And that's it for the heroes. We have two villains in this movie. First, you have Steppenwolf. He's the main villain. And he is so much better in this movie than in the 2017 version. In the 2017 version, he's a really terrible, unfinished CGI monster who I can't even begin to describe how terrible he was in that movie. He made very horrible one-liners, sounded exactly like a video game NPC. Really bad. But in this movie, he's actually kind of a tragic character. He's this character who knows he fucked up, wants to atone for that fuck up, and wants to just go home. But Darkseid's not letting him go home. And speaking of Darkseid, Darkseid is in this movie, and he is an absolute beast. I love this portrayal of Darkseid. Ray Porter really nails it with the voice, and the look is absolutely amazing. Another shame of the Snyderverse not getting continued is the fact that we're not going to see this version of Darkseid again. Who the fuck knows when we'll see any version of Darkseid ever again, but I really, really loved Ray Porter as Darkseid in this movie. He's only in a couple scenes, but he actually feels like a threat. Even though he's barely in it, his presence is still felt throughout the movie. And that's what I really liked about this portrayal of Darkseid. And finally, elephant in the room. He's not a villain, he's not a hero, he's barely in the movie. But Jared Leto's Joker was very much improved in this movie. He's still not one of the all-time greatest Joker portrayals or even comic book villain portrayals. But I found this version much more palatable than the version we got back in 2016 in Suicide Squad. I really loved his scene with Batman near the end of the movie. It's really, really great. It actually felt like a Batman and Joker interaction. I don't mind never seeing Jared Leto's Joker again, but this was still a really good thing to see in this movie. A finally good portrayal of the Joker from Jared Leto. And also, it was just really nice to see Martian Manhunter in live action, even though he only has 2 brief scenes. Really great to see him, especially played by Harry Lennox, who played the General in Man of Steel and Batman vs. Superman. Finally get that payoff that he was actually the Martian Manhunter the whole time. Really, really fun to see that. And aside from all the characters, you have a really good story here. You get a 4-hour epic. It's definitely got room to breathe. Of Batman trying to form a team of superheroes to stop an invasion or a world-ending event. And it's just really great to see all these heroes come together on the big screen. I have always been more of a DC fan my entire life. Despite how much Spider-Man means to me, DC's just always been my go-to. And I've been always wanting a Justice League movie my entire life. And we finally got one with this movie. And it was just really great to see. The action set pieces are absolutely amazing. The editing is crystal clear. The CGI for an HBO Max release is just absolutely astonishing how clean the CGI feels here. And you have a really great score and soundtrack as well, just adding to the epicness that is this movie. But that's about all for the good. On to the bad. And there's like one nitpick that I will always have with this movie, and that's the use of score choice whenever Wonder Woman does anything. It gets so annoying by the second time it's used. I just don't like it. Also, yeah, Zack Snyder was a little overindulgent on the slow-mo in this movie, but that doesn't take away from the movie. That's all for the bad. On to the final thoughts. I really, really still love this movie. It's just so much fun. Finally, to see a Justice League movie done right. Just really, really fun. Zack Snyder's Justice League is still a really great movie with a really great story and a really great payoff to years of campaigning. And I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. So that was my thoughts on Zack Snyder's Justice League. Have you seen this movie? Let me know down in the comments what you thought about it if you have. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.